Do you know what you should be working on right now if you want to move forward with your photography? I mean, forward in a significant and strategic way. Do you know what level you're on and what it takes to get to the next level in your photography? Well, I've created a framework to make it easier for photographers to figure out, one, where you are, two, what it takes to move to the next level, and three, more importantly, how to know when you get there. We'll talk about that today. Hi, I'm Lynn Morton from ShutterBugLife.com, and when I teach photographers, the frequent question is, how do I know if I'm ready to move forward to the next level? How do I know if I've reached the next level? How do I know what I should be working on if I want to progress in my photography? And it's one of those questions that it's tough to answer at the moment because so many photography educators talk about helping you move to the next level, but no one ever told you what the next level is. Well, I've developed a framework to help bring more clarity to this because I think we need better clarity and better direction on how we move forward. It's a framework that consists of 3 levels or phases for your photography. And I'm going to tell you how you know which one you're in, what you should be doing, and more importantly, how you know when you've moved to the next level or the next phase and what you should be doing then and how you continue to progress. Now, this is designed to take you from a beginner photographer all the way to a professional or someone who is working at a high and significant level. Okay, so we'll talk about all 3 levels next. But before we do, remember, if you like these videos, if you like what we're doing here on this channel, you know the drill. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you hit the bell so YouTube will notify you when I drop another one. Or if you don't want to, depend on YouTube, in the description, I have a link that you can use to subscribe so that I will send you an email the next time I release one. And I have a free bonus for this episode today. You can download a free learning path checklist, which walks you through all of the steps we'll talk about in this episode. You'll have it in one easy checklist that you can use to work your way through the learning path at your own leisure. Go to learningpath.shutterbuglife.com to download the free checklist. And bonus, when I do one of my free photo webinars where we go deep on photography topics, you'll be one of the first to know. All right. Now, let's get into the 3 levels or phases that you go through as a photographer. In my framework, we have 3 levels of photographers. We have the emerging photographer, we have the enthusiast photographer, and we have the entrepreneurial photographer. Now, why is this important? Well, one, because it provides you a roadmap. And like any good map, it shows you exactly where you are. It shows you where you want to go. But more importantly, it shows you the steps along the way to get there. And so you have a big picture view of what your photography's learning path should be if you want to go from beginner to brand. Okay, so that's why this is important. In fact, I believe this is so important that I'll be using it in my coming mentoring club. It will be an ongoing club where we work through all of these issues and you can go from beginner to brand as well with some guidance, some support, and some encouragement from your peers. If you want to learn more about it, there'll be a link in the description. You can get on the waiting list. I'll let you know when it launches. But back to today's talk. On our learning path, we have 3 levels, and we'll start first with the emerging photographer. Now, the emerging photographer, let's talk about the characteristics. You are new to photography. You've decided that this is something that you really enjoy and you want to really pour yourself into, and it speaks to you and it appeals to you in some way. You're looking forward to the next time you go out and shoot. And you look for anything possible to shoot. You shoot any and everything you can get in front of you, and you're just excited to shoot and to learn photography. You're in meetup groups. You follow lots of podcasts, blogs. You are binging on YouTube videos. You're experimenting as you shoot. You're learning your camera and you're learning yourself. Some general advice for you in the emerging photographer stage. You're still a newbie, and what's going to be most important to you is that you shoot a lot of pictures and that you look at a lot of pictures. You're going to get out and you're going to shoot as much as possible. Take every opportunity to go out and shoot. Volume is the key here. You putting mileage on that shutter finger and going out and shooting. Shoot different genres. Shoot with groups and meetups. Shoot by yourself when you're out walking around. Take your camera with you everywhere you go and keep shooting. And after you shoot, you go back and look at your pictures and you dissect them. What do you like about them? What don't you like about them? What would you do differently if you had to shoot the same thing over again? Really deconstruct your pictures and see what you can learn, and then go out and shoot the same thing again a lot of the times, or shoot new things, but just keep shooting and shooting and shooting. Now, what you'll do over time is you'll start to see yourself start to improve. If you keep shooting like that, and if you keep putting that volume in, you will get better. And if you keep looking at images, not just yours, other people's, look at the kind of images that inspire you, the kind of images that you think, wow, I wish I could do stuff like that. And then you do the same thing for them. You deconstruct them. What did that photographer do? Where did they stand? What did they do with their camera? Where's the light? Just really pick it apart and see what you can learn, and do this at every opportunity. You can't look at too many pictures, and you can't take too many pictures in this phase. Volume, volume, volume is the key in this stage of photography. Now, you'll see yourself start to progress over time. You keep shooting in volume like this, you will get better. You will get better. Because if you keep shooting and if you keep looking at images, you'll start to build a visual database of what good looks like, and you'll start to be able to pull from it as you're shooting. You'll start to remember the things you did that yielded the results that you didn't like, and you'll figure out how to avoid that next time. And with each iteration, you will get better, and you'll get better, and you'll get better. This is the only way to move out of the emerging photographer stage. You've got to focus on volume. Now, there are ways to do this so you don't burn yourself out. And because sometimes we're busy and we have to also schedule this around busy lives. I get that. And so you're going to create a routine of when you shoot, and you're going to make time for it. You're going to schedule it if you need to. You're going to maybe you combine it with something else you're doing, like on my lunch break, I'll go out for 20 minutes and I'll just try and take one good image. Or you'll say, when I'm on my walk for exercise, I'll take my camera and try and get a photograph. When I'm doing something else that I enjoy, I'll take my camera and try and get some images. So pair it up with something else that you enjoy doing so that you have more opportunity to do it. Take the camera everywhere with you, because you never know when inspiration might hit. And with a camera, you can pull it out and snap an image, and you only need 2 or 3 minutes to do it if the camera is with you. Choose a theme and shoot around that. So I have friends who will say, I'm only shooting numbers for this week, or I'm only shooting reflections for this week. Choose a broad theme, and like everything else, remember, if you decide that you want to buy a blue BMW, you'll start to see them everywhere. Well, the same thing can work here. When you choose what your theme will be, you'll see more of it, and it'll give you more opportunities to shoot. The other thing is you give yourself an assignment. Say, here is what I'm going to work on this week. For instance, if I was if the newspaper was sending me out to get a photograph, or my sports team, or whatever your interest is, give yourself an assignment. Or look at pictures that inspire you and go out and try and replicate them. Go out and say, how can I take this picture, and then how can I make that picture my own? What would I do differently to make it feel more like me? So that's another thing you can do. And then the one thing I know that everyone who has done this has gotten better has been like a Project 365 or Project 52. So Project 365 is when you commit to taking at least one and taking and posting at least one photo every day for at least a year, hence the 365. The way it works, you can take more than one picture, but you're only posting one picture a day. And you're doing it in a place where people know and expect it so that you have some accountability built in from people who are looking on and going, where is today's picture? Now, you are going to have to really commit to make this work. But the people I know who have done this and who have done it successfully from beginning to end of the year, you can see a significant improvement in their photography. It's night and day. Now, I know it's tough to do this daily. And so sometimes we suggest just do weekly, Project 52. Just try and shoot during the week, but with the goal of producing one picture that you will share at the end of each week. Okay. So you don't have to shoot just one time. You can shoot multiple times, but the goal is to get one picture that you will share at the end of the week to represent that week's work. Now, this kind of project works well when you're doing it with other people, other photographers. You're all on a similar journey and a similar challenge, working together and encouraging each other. And so I've created a group to do just that. I call it Project Momentum because this is us working together to create more momentum in our photography and propel ourselves forward. And so if you go to momentum.shutterbuglife.com, you'll see how you can join us. It's a perfectly free group on our own private platform where we share our images either every day or every week, but we do it in a place where we're all friends, we're all encouraging, it's a safe place, we can encourage each other, and we can all sort of cheer for each other as we make our progress down the road. Okay, so that's momentum.shutterbuglife.com for my Project Momentum. If you are in that emerging phase and you know that you need to do something to commit to shooting regularly and you think you'd benefit from some support, that's one place to go. It'll cost you nothing. And so that's the emerging photographer stage. You're a beginner. You want to move forward. You know, you're going to put a lot of volume on. You're going to pick themes. You're going to get into a challenge like a Project Momentum. You are going to get routines. You're going to give yourself, assignments. You're going to do all these things. You're going to look at images. You're going to shoot images. You're going to dissect your images, and you're going to work on this as much as you can, knowing that if you do the work, you will get better and you'll move to the next phase, which is phase 2, the enthusiast photographer. In the enthusiast phase, you'll find yourself now beginning to create more confidently and creating better work more consistently. You'll see that it doesn't take you as many images or keep rate to get to the image you're really looking for. You're really doing well learning your camera and you're learning yourself. And now you can go out and really create good images on demand. And so now the word for you is consistency. In this phase, you are trying to look for more consistency. The theme here is to do good work. If the first phase is just do the work, now in this phase, the enthusiast phase, it's do good work. Focus on getting your quality up. Really now start to think about what genres that speak to you more than others, and try and focus in on maybe 2 or 3 of them that you really want to hone in on and get better at. At this point, you should be learning more about yourself, learning more about which genres speak to you more than others, where you have better aptitude, where you're getting better feedback on your images, on where you'd rather invest more of your time. This is in the enthusiast phase. This is self-discovery now beginning to blossom and come to fruition. And so now you have to start producing consistently. Keep doing good work. The thing is, what you're doing now is you are trying to narrow your focus and try and develop your style. And this comes only with time and with volume and with looking at what you're doing, getting feedback on what you're producing, and learning more about what you're interested in, what speaks to you and your heart and your photography, and where you can produce consistently. So you are now looking at where, one, you can produce well, two, where you get feedback that you're doing well, and three, where it feeds you in your soul. And so this is where you are now in the enthusiast. It's increase in quality and narrow in your focus. During this phase, you should start thinking about building an audience. People who now recognize what you create and are interested in it and are starting to follow you because they're interested in what you create. You might even start creating an email list for yourself, or just really cultivating a group online or in a community somewhere. But you are now building up your talents, narrowing your focus, and starting to build an audience for your work. Now, in this phase, when you're doing good work, this is where you're going to start to invest in yourself as well. When you've decided on one of the three genres, you're going to try and take some workshops in it or get some online classes. Now you have to start investing with the people who do that genre well, and try and start learning from them what other things you have to do to, again, move forward within that specific space. You're now getting better in a series of genres, and you're going to have to invest in yourself to do that. And if you do, this is how you begin now to get to move forward, because now you're not only getting better in those genres, you're making a name for yourself. Part of this phase is, what do you want to be known for? And think about that as well as you begin to find yourself and narrow down your focus as an enthusiast. You should start researching maybe some long-term photo projects. Some, people who work on these personal photo projects. That's a good way to also keep yourself focused and keep yourself energized and start working at a higher level. Start thinking about what kind of personal photo project I can work on over the long term and create something interesting that I can be proud of. So that's the enthusiast photographer. You're getting better, you're getting more consistency, and of course, your watchword is do good work. Do good work. And it's about consistency and about self-discovery and about figuring out what you want to be known for and continuing to shoot and explore. Now, you can spend as long as you want in this phase, or you can spend the rest of your career in this phase. Really, there's no time frame for any of them. You move through them as you progress and as much as you'd like to invest in them and in yourself. Or you might decide, I like it here and this is where I want to reside. But if you don't, the next level is the entrepreneurial photographer. In this phase, the focus is do work that matters. In the first phase, we just did the work. In the second phase, we focused on doing good work. And in the third phase, we're doing work that matters. And what does that mean? For many people, this is where you decide to launch a business, where you decide to make your mark and create something and offer it for sale, whether it's by creating fine art or art that you create and frame and sell and get stuff into galleries, whether you do stuff on commission for commercial clients or for families and portraits, whether you decide to photograph food or whether you decide to do personal branding, wherever you decide to make your mark, now you're doing work that matters. You're looking to do your best work, and you're looking to do it at a high level, and you're looking to create a body of work that you can be known for and something significant. Now, even though I call it entrepreneurial, it doesn't have to be a business. You can create something else, a gallery showing. You can create a book from your art. You can create a multimedia project. You can create content for some other project. Whatever it is, whatever you decide to do, you're looking to do work that matters, something that will make an impact, something that will leave your mark and serve your audience in a way that's unique and satisfying and authentic to you. So whatever that is, now you're thinking about something that you can do to work at a high level and do work that matters. And of course, you'll at this level, you're being known for something specific in your photography. You're creating at a high level. And now you can even begin to think about how you give back or pay it forward within this industry or within any other industry where you're working or where you choose to make an impact. The whole point is to make an impact of some kind and to leave your own mark from your work. And at this level, you can just continue to work on more and more projects that matter to you and choose them for whatever reason. I like to look at Joe McNally for inspiration. I saw a video the other day where he posted where he went and he tried to create, this whole scene in a like a whodunit kind of a scenario. And, he's just doing other things and in this one, I think he used like 50 different lights. Like he's just doing different things to see what else he can do and how else he can push himself to grow and create. And so this is where we are in this phase. We are looking for different ways where we can do work that matters, where we can make an impact with our work, where we can make someone else better with our work, and where we can give back or give forward with our work. And so this is the entrepreneurial phase. And when you're here, you're really looking at doing work that matters. And so there are the three levels. You have the emerging photographer, where you're just going to do the work. You're shooting and putting volume onto your shutter finger and using this time to learn more about yourself, learn more about your camera, learn more about the arts that you're interested in. And then you get to the point where you're now producing at a level where you see consistency. And so you move, that's the enthusiast level. And now you're doing good work and you're trying to keep up the consistency and the quality, begin to narrow your focus, begin to see, I will be known for something specific, and then try and invest in yourself and invest in that skill and that talent to try and make yourself, again, elevated in those three areas and begin to be known for that. At that level, you're beginning now to start to create and build an audience for people who are interested in you, who are following you, and with whom you can share your work. And now when you're ready to move to the next level, you'll go to the entrepreneurial phase and you'll do work that matters. This is where you're trying to make a significant do work of significance and make an impact to do something that elevates your work, and to also elevates an industry or some other cause or some other long-term photography project. And those are the three phases. And I think you can see where you are in those three phases and then know what you need to do to move to the next one. Now, is there a time frame for each one? No, you can move through it at your own pace. So I've seen some people move through that emerging phase within weeks, and some people are there for years. It depends on how much you want to invest in terms of your time and your efforts in each one, and how focused and strategic you are in moving from phase to phase. So wherever you are, I'm just going to now try and encourage you to keep focused and now think about what you're doing in terms of being strategic to get yourself to the next level if you decide to go there, because now you know what the next level is and what you need to do to get there. Well, boy, I hope that was helpful for you. I think that this is one of the clearest ways of seeing where you are and where you need to go next, and how to know when when you've reached there. So that's it. If you enjoyed this, meet me again here next Thursday, and I'll be dropping another video. Or just leave me in the comments what you want to hear more of, what you want me to talk about, what you're struggling with, where the challenges are for you in your photography. I'd love to address those as well too. Okay. Well, thanks again. Have a good week with your photography. Go out and create something amazing with your camera. I'll see you again next Thursday. Take care.